but he is on film saying that he wants to make it look like a burglary because he thought I was dead. He also did this in front of our son, and he left our son crying and left me on the floor for hours unconscious. When I went to the emergency room finally, they told me that if he held my neck for 5 more seconds, that I would be dead.
We were in a marriage, and uh, after she cheated on me, we went through a nasty divorce, and we had to go through a custody battle, and I wasn't in my right mind mentally. Um, and I was just completely out there. I do apologize. I did love her, and I do have love for her now. I am very sorry about what happened.
And we are about to watch the parole hearing of a Utah man who violated his protective order, went into the home, and left her for dead. He is caught on camera claiming that he wanted to make it look like a burglary gone wrong. Now, he was sentenced to 25 years, but only 10 years of it that he has to serve, and now up for parole. And I tell you, it's one of those hearings where you hear from the survivor, and then what you hear from the perpetrator, it's just disturbing. Talk about a man who takes no accountability. But anyways, enough of that. Let's jump into this hearing, and I'll unpack it with the details and the results at the
To cover a few legal things, you're here for two cases, case 221906182 and case 221901181. Those are third-degree felonies. You have 5 of them. One of them is consecutive, so it's 5 plus 5 equals 10 years is your maximum sentence. The board can release you at any point during that range. And to do that, we start with the sentencing guideline, which in your case is 34 months, April 17th, 2025, so a couple months from now. We can go above or below the guideline, depending on whether we find aggravating or mitigating factors. Mitigating could be things like completing programming treatment. Aggravating can be things like disciplinary violations, not reducing risk, the nature of the offense, things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take time now to hear from Ms. York. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I need to swear you in, so would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you swear to tell the truth and be accurate in today's proceeding?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down.
Okay.
Please state your name for the record. Okay. Now, what would you like the board to know in this matter?
Okay. So can I read my statement?
Yes.
Okay. It's a little bit long, but hold on one second. Okay, so I'm writing this statement to let you know how much I've been affected by Jeremy York's actions, not only through our entire marriage, but the night that he tried to kill me. Ever since that night that he strangled me, I have found out more information that has haunted me throughout the past couple years. Not only did he think that he killed me, and it's on video from his parents' security, um, but he is on film saying that he wants to make it look like a burglary because he thought I was dead. He also did this in front of our son, and he left our son crying and left me on the floor for hours unconscious. When I went to the emergency room finally, they told me that if he held my neck for 5 more seconds, that I would be dead. When he was strangling me, all I could think about was all my kids and that I would never see them again. And I um, have suffered from severe PTSD, anxiety, and depression since then. Um, I wasn't able to sleep for months and months because it haunted me every night of what he did. Till this day, he has never acknowledged to me what he has done. He's never said sorry at any hearings or ever asked about his son. Um, what he has done to me has affected me in so many ways with how I interact with other people, my anxiety levels everywhere I go. Any guy that looks at me, I'm scared something might happen. I just haven't been the same since. I don't I don't understand how someone you could marry and have a child with could try and kill you. I also have heard that has not been doing anything to try to better himself in prison, as well as now being in Max and PC. And I have heard very inappropriate things he's doing in there that are very concerning. Um, and that he's not even listening in prison scares me, that he will come out and try to hurt someone else, not just me, but any woman or child. I do know he got another protective order from another woman while he's been in prison, which is another thing that scares me. It took me a very long time to leave Jeremy when we were married. I tried several times, but it just kept getting more violent. When I finally did leave is when he tried to kill me, and I know that is, like a statistic that usually happens when you leave a domestic violence situation. I feel that Jeremy's very lucky that he only got the charges he got and not attempted murder, considering he told me he wanted to kill me and then broke in and tried and was caught on video and then tried to make it look like it was someone else. I don't feel like he is someone that is safe out in the real world, especially since he's not improving at all in prison. My son Jackson has suffered greatly as well, even though he's very young. He's very smart and understands. Um, I will never forget the day after almost getting murdered. I had to see my 3 kids and have them all stare at me while I was covered in bruises and having them ask me what happened. Um, I went from a very happy person and a happy mom. Um, sorry, one second. Um, it was one of the hardest things I had to do in my life. I'm writing this statement to you guys to let you know that I don't think he is in any position to be ready to be out in the real world till he shows some type of improvement, which no one has seen any yet. He has never once asked his lawyer about Jackson. He has never once said sorry or showed any remorse. He's never acknowledged what he's done to me, even though this has changed my life. Um, I just went from a happy person to a completely different person. I have a hard time having relationships with people because I'm scared that this will happen again. Um, no, hold on, sorry. Where am I? Um, okay, I still struggle and I have a really hard time with sleep because that's when I did get strangled in the middle of the night. So I have severe PTSD. I try my hardest to be the best mom I can be, but after that, I'm going to be honest, going through that and having to watch my son, it has affected me in more ways than I can even describe. I am disgusted in Jeremy and what he did to me. We did not deserve that. He might be in prison, but I am out in the real world trying my hardest to be a normal person and a good mom. But I'm always haunted in the back of my head about what he did. I do not think he is ready to get out. I think he needs to show some more improvement. I'm scared to death, and I'm not only scared for me, but and my kids, but I'm scared for any girl he decides to date or be with because it only takes 1 second for him to get angry and lay his hands on someone. Um, I will never forget sitting in the hospital having to take pictures of my entire body for hours alone, scared to death. Jeremy, Jeremy, I want you to know that at one point in life, I thought I saw good in you and I wanted to give you a chance. And then to watch you sit on top of me on my neck and strangle me with so much anger in front of my child and tell me you wanted to kill me has hurt me in more ways than you'll ever know. Um, but I hope you stay in prison for a while and I hope you get the help you need and I hope you change your ways. And I think um, you need to try, I don't know, and do classes and try to prove that you can be a better human or a better dad and be a better human just to come out into the real world because you're not just a danger to me, you're a danger to everyone. Anyone that looks at you wrong or anyone that says anything wrong to you, you turn very violent. I don't know if therapy will help. I have done tons of therapy for this situation and I suffered daily, but I try every day to be a better person and not let it affect me, but it's very hard. And yep, thank you for letting me read this statement. And if you'll please consider these violent acts and danger, I would, for the real world and how scared I am and everyone else, I fear for my kids. and I know that his other baby mom does too, and put a protective order while he's been in prison. I appreciate you guys for letting me speak, and yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. York.
Mhm.
Mr. York, what is your response to that?
I have a lot to say about it. In regards of what happened, I'm very, very sorry. We were in a marriage, and after she cheated on me, we went through a nasty divorce, and we had to go through a custody battle, and I wasn't in my right mind mentally. And I was just completely out there. I do apologize. I did love her, and I do have love for her now. I am very sorry about what happened. I do ask about Jax all the time. That a lot of that stuff isn't true. I do have a lot of remorse for what's happened, but I also have a lot of words to say with all the other things that she was saying. I just received court paperwork, that she has four active cases with our son right now for child abuse and endangerment and other things that are going on, and the way that she's being a mother right now. So I'm trying to see from your guys' eyes, what you're hearing, and then also my situation. I need to be out there to be a father. Being a father to me is the most important thing to me in my life. That's the thing that's made me the happiest. I'm in college full time. I have a career full time. I got 2 more years, and I'll be a journeyman plumber. Yeah, I have things to go back to. I have been punished enough. I've been down my entire guideline now. I have done classes. I have put the effort forward. I just lost my dad a few months ago. He just passed away, and that was very, very hard on us. That I'll never be able to get back or take back. That was the most punishment I could ever receive. And then to get this paperwork about my son, that we're going to lose him to DCFS, and they're going to take him, because she's only visited him once in the past month when she dropped him off to a family member's, is very, very disheartening and discouraging. And nothing means more to me than my family and my kids, and was my father, but he's gone now. Sophia, I do love you very much. We're just not meant to be together, but that doesn't mean that we can't be healthy co-parents and healthy people, and be there for our kids. But once again, I am very sorry about the things that I got here. I do have a lot of remorse for me being here. I've felt a lot of pain since I've been here. No one understands prison until you've actually been here and actually gone through it, and get to experience all the battles and the things that you got to go through daily. This has been the worst punishment ever. Once again, I am sorry. I am very, very sorry. But our little boy doesn't deserve this, and our kids don't deserve this. And all the DUIs and the car crashes she's had with him in the vehicle and everything else that I'm reading in this paperwork. I have court right after this to go try to save him, and hopefully have them penned it a little longer until I come home, so that I can take care of him. My mom's willing to take him in for the time being. But yeah, there's two sides to every story. I'm not just some big monster, and I made a mistake, and I'm very sorry. Being cheated on and all that stuff, and losing my son in the first place was a very hard emotional thing to go through that I've ever been. So I wasn't ever in my right mind. I do apologize. Like I said, sincerely, you know that I love you, Sophia. I have a lot of love for you, and there's nothing more than to me than our children and our kids. I feel like I need to be out there and be there. I have a life to go back to, and good family, and a career and everything. I've completed APMP successfully twice before. I know how to be successful and be a regular member in society. And I know the tattoos might say something different, but I was raised in a very healthy, good family, and I don't think being LDS matters, but I was raised LDS in a very loving, kind, loving, caring family. And I know better, and I am a good person, and I want to go out there and do good and be there for my kids, so I don't lose my kids.
You've expressed a lot of concern for your children and your son. How do you think witnessing this affected your son?
It was horrible, probably affected him a lot. I know that he was younger at the time, but it doesn't matter what age you are. No kid should be able to see that ever, ever at all. They shouldn't even be hearing you raise your voice, you know?
Okay. So let's talk about your time in prison. How do you think you've done?
Um, for the circumstances and the things that were around on a daily basis, I feel like I've done well. The reason why I'm in max now, I beat that right up. I shouldn't be in antelope as it is. On the last few write-ups that I've had are not guilty, and I beat them. There was a misunderstanding, and we worked that out. Yeah, I completed the 12-step program, the classes. They don't have tablets back where we're at right now, so there's not much. I would always hound my caseworkers, you know, what else can I do? What else can I do? I feel like I'm not doing enough. But there's no access to tablets where we're at right now for anything.
Okay.
But I feel like with the circumstances, I feel like I've done very well. I've had a lot of love and support and did the best that I can. Prison's something no one wants to experience. I can tell you that right now. No one wants to experience it. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone.
Okay. Referring to the disciplines, there's still 4 that I have that were not pending. Are you saying that those were a misunderstanding?
No, the last one, the very last one saying something about the buprenorphine or the UA or whatever. I just barely had surgery at the hospital.
Yep.
And they gave me those medications at the hospital. So I'm grandma requesting the records so that they can see that that wasn't a misuse. But the reason why I'm in max was a misunderstanding. Yes, I was telling the brothers were in a big huge incident, and I was telling them to stop, and it was a big huge big situation. I was telling them to stop, and the cops thought that I was saying that I was pointing to them and saying this, but I was telling the brothers to stop. So they misunderstood, thinking that the cops were in. But I was trying to tell the brothers to stop because it was all bad what they were doing.
And I understand that you don't have access to tablets, but as far as your case action plan, the programs that were recommended for you, do you believe those would be helpful? Do you agree with them?
Yeah.
Where-
So when I got, like I said, this is my first time in prison, so I'm not really aware with the whole case action plan, all that stuff. But when I got first assessed, the lady says, okay, well, you don't really need a treatment and you don't really need any kind of thing like that. What you need, because you've been clean, you're in college, you have a career, you know. But I would recommend, you know, some of the other stuff, the GOP or whatever. I don't know what GOP is, but I think it's an outpatient type treatment.
It's usually in the community after prison.
Okay, so that's what she said, but I'm not familiar with it, like I said. So I said, yeah, that would be fine for something like that. I did do the VT classes. I did do the 12-step recovery program. I got the certificate for that. I did basically the things of my knowledge, and then I would keep hitting up my caseworkers and asking them, what can I do? What can I do? And they're basically just like, look, you've done your time and this is your first time in prison and there's not really much else that you need to do. I know that there was the domestic violence thing that it said I did complete half of it, 50%, but then I don't know if it shows on your end, if it shows the work that I've done on the tablet. Do you have to complete it to show the okay, so that's half done, but then when I came back to max, I couldn't complete because I didn't have the tablet. But yeah, so I'm kind of just brand new at all of this, trying to but I did constantly through the messages ask my caseworker, what else can I do? What else can I do? Because I did want to be released and be able to go back home. So I wanted to do anything that would benefit me and help me in my actions. And I do go to counseling on the streets on my own. So I know that the assessor liked that a lot. I do have work benefits and health insurance and all that stuff through my career. So my insurance covers counseling and things like that that help a lot. And I do think therapy will help me. I don't think that I'm just some monster. I feel like I can bounce back. And like I said, the things that I've experienced here, I wouldn't wish this upon anyone. And I don't I don't wish anything upon anyone, you know?
Well, as you might be aware, we make decisions by majority vote. So at least 3 of the 5 board members have to agree on any release. So we never give a decision at the hearing. We'll send that to you in writing, probably about 2 weeks. We post those on our website, so you'll be able to see our decision as well. But do you have anything else that we haven't covered that you think we need to know as we make that decision?
Just that I have a safe, good home address to go to. My work did. I know you have the letter in your hand. My work did say that I have my job back still pending and they like me back. I would register right back into my semester and complete off the last 2 years and be done. And everything's in play. I would get it in immediate counseling, whether they court me to do it or not. I know I need that. But yeah, I have everything and my son needs me. I mean, she's, yeah, he's gonna get taken from us for sure. This is exactly what this is saying. And I need to be there for my kids. I have to be.
All right. Okay, any questions for me?
When, after you guys make the decision, how long does that usually take, or do you know?
I think about 2 weeks, and we'll send that to you in writing.
Okay. Okay, I guess you can't really say much and you'll be talking to them and everything, so.
Yeah, we'll, again, we have to vote together on that, so we'll do that and let you know.
Okay,
All right, thank you. That concludes our hearing.
okay, thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to share the results with you, but first let's just watch him as he interacts and as the CEO tells him, hey, you.
Okay, spin around and say quick. No contact.
Okay. Hopefully it won't. Good turnaround, we'll see. Okay, love you guys. We'll see you. Love you.
See you, babe.
Yep, see you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too.
They denied him, and they say that he has a rehearing 2 of 2027. So 2 years pretty much from the date of this parole hearing. The reasons that they said it was, one, the aggravated institutional behavior, so he's not doing well on the inside, and for the substantial injury that he's caused his victim, his survivor. The victim or victim's family expressed a significant impact financially, emotionally, physically, and does not support his release. And good for her for standing up and taking back some of that control. It is so difficult. It is so terrifying. I mean, the guy is dangerous. She doesn't know the results. They might release him. And as you heard from her, he broke into the house in front of his own child, strangled her to the point that the doctor said it was just seconds before she would die. And for those of you who might say, oh, that's an exaggeration. How this happens all the time. We see parole hearings where there's strangulation all the time. It's one of the leading causes of death in DV. And that's because you can't moderate whether you're gonna kill her or not. And this guy with his attitude and his, I don't know what I would call, I'm not diagnosing him, but full blown narcissism, while he makes the hearing all about him, poor me, and I love you, with the gaslighting already while he's behind bars. Can you imagine he even gets restraining orders from other women while he's behind bars? The whole thing is insane. The guy is what I would call unhinged and dangerous, and it's a shame he only has 10 years total sentence. I mean, this stuff is scary. Aggravated assault resulting in serious bodily injury, DV in presence of a child, violation of pretrial protective order, violation of a jail release court order felony. I guess he was out pretrial, assault, aggravated assault, right? And 2032 is his full term date. Kind of scary to think that he's only been locked up, I think, 3 years before getting the first chance at parole. And again, imagine from her perspective, if he had gotten released, the fear you would have to live under. But now she has at least a little bit of time, a couple of years, to hopefully at least to sleep better than maybe she would have. Very few people show up to these kind of hearings when they're on the DV side of it. It's a very difficult thing to do, so we've got to call her out and salute her for taking that courage, I think. And maybe many of you watching this can relate. And just the he's like talking about his son and putting her down, and it's like you're not going to come in as a savior, as his dad, to save your son. What world are you living in? He doesn't need you, sadly. The last thing he needs is for you to get out of prison. Anyways, thank you, Holly, for putting together the research.
And that he's not even listening in prison scares me, that he will come out and try to hurt someone else, not just me, but any woman or child. I do know he got another protective order from another woman while he's been in prison, which is another thing that scares me. It took me a very long time to leave Jeremy when we were married. I tried several times, but it just kept getting more violent. When I finally did leave is when he tried to kill me, and I know that is like a statistic that usually happens when you leave in a domestic violence situation. I feel that Jeremy's very lucky that he only got the charges he got and not attempted murder, considering he told me he wanted to kill me and then broke in and tried.